What's going on, YouTube? How's it going? So today I'm heading out to one of the parks out on Eagle Mountain Lake. I can't recall the name of it. Of course, it'll come back to me the moment I arrive at the gate. I've been out here several times. It's a neat little park that has some really interesting fixtures right at the front of the park that are old-timey, like an old log cabin, old wagon, like an old wagon, wagon wheels, like chicken coops, outhouse, a bunch of old fixtures that you just normally don't see anymore these days, and they've preserved them and kept them out there. It also has a really nice lookout point to look over the lake. And today, the reason it occurred to me to go there today was because it has a the sky, the actual atmosphere in the sky today looks very, very odd today. We are, so in Dallas-Fort Worth, it's very green-ish here most of the year, except for obviously in the winter. But to the about 100 miles, maybe 200 miles west of us is when it starts getting a little dusty, where you have sand, like, because in New Mexico you have all that sand and desert and things like that. But here it's not that way. So when you have days like today where it's really dusty, it's because we're getting very strong northwest winds from the, obviously from the west, from the Amarillo on down through Lubbock, blowing this way from New Mexico. I looked at the satellite. It looks like a giant brown cloud that's covering this area. So it is quite interesting, and I just figured I'd share that with you. And we'll just see how things turn out. So with that, let's hit it. Just look at that sky. It is so interesting. It's like fog in the middle of the day, and just weird, like a weird fog. Normally it would be bright and sunny, big bright blue skies, but now it's just this haze of brown. Here I am coming over this hill, and I can kind of see where the edge of the tree line is ahead. On the other side of that is the lake, but it's barely visible just up ahead. So yeah, you can just see all the haze across these fields here, and lots of dust, more dust, dust. Oh my gosh, guys, the parking here is ridiculous. Just to get into this park, look at all these cars lined up on the side of the road just to get into a little park around a Texas lake. Once we hit 70 degrees, they just let out all the animals. Yep, there's one guy backing out right there. There's a spot here, and there's a spot down there where that guy's backing out. So I'm going to park right where he just backed out. So a couple of interesting features about this park. You have this welcome section here. Talks a little bit about the park. Then there's all these little information sections over here where you can learn more about what's out here. You've got white-tailed deer, squirrels, bats, coyotes, armadillos, snakes, butterflies. Here's a little bit about the bird life that's out here. Blue jays, woodpeckers, red-tailed hawks, northern cardinals, roadrunners, bald eagles out here. Here's a little bit map of kind of where we're at. We're just northwest of Fort Worth, where looks like there's a river that dumps into Eagle Mountain Lake. So this is Eagle Mountain Park. And then if I come over here, I get to learn a little bit about the trees that are out here. You've got yucca, cedar elm, red oak, prickly pear. More on the plants, the wine cup. Now it's winter, so a lot of these will be dormant right now. Black-eyed Susan, blue stem, Indian blanket. And finally, here's the history of the park. So you can just pause the video if you want to read more about that. There we are. So right here, we're going to go probably this loop here. That's where I believe there's the good lookout. So I'm going to head off of here to the left and go up. So the trail's out here at Eagle Mountain Park, but you can tell that they are definitely a good, clean trail. If you can tell behind me, they have gravel. So I know it may be hard to see the vastness that's out here, but you can tell today's definitely a very eerie kind of day. You've got all the sand that's in the air, all the dust. You've got the lake behind me. Normally you could see super clear the lake from one side to the other. As I look across here, it almost looks like fog. It's like that foggy day when I took you guys to the Marine Creek Reservoir Lake. Very reminiscent of that. However, this is just pure dust. I'll throw up a picture here in the video of what it looks like with a good camera. So I realize that wind may be blowing out the mic somewhat. The things that I'm listening to out here are the trees, the old leaves that are behind me here that are sort of dying, the dead leaves that are just sitting here in the trees as they rustle in the wind. These are all things that I like to sit back and just ponder for a little bit about life and why we're here, why we're out here. You know, I think in the age of COVID, it's just a solemn reminder of we need to take a moment to just pause and soak in the beauty that's around us. Another one of my favorite features in this area are these benches. So you see behind me, you've got this bench that you can sit in and take a few minutes off your feet, especially after a long hike. Now this hike here was only, what, maybe a quarter of a mile. It was a very short hike, but if you want to sit down here, maybe with a loved one, as you're staring off into the lake, you can sit down and rest. Also, what I like about this side of the lake, this area, is that you've got these cool little, you've got this railing with these rocks that are just set up into the railing. So as to leaving a little bit of the natural look. The rocks are indigenous to this area. You hear that? Exactly. Silence. Something beautiful about it, right? Bird chirping as it flies by. The distant sound of rustling leaves in the distance. Incredible. I mean, who needs movies when you have this? So as I left the bench area, I went for a walk to see the special Rustic section here in the park, and I noticed as I came across this windmill here, it started making a creaking sound, and it's really cool because you can see these gears that are here where it would turn the wheel, and there's a pipe that's coming at the bottom of that windmill that's pouring into that tank. Over here, as I'm looking around, I'm seeing this is like a renovated shack. There's some old antlers on the fence post there, and here I came over and found, this looks like a horse stall, a horse house. Maybe like a mini barn. You can see the horseshoe on the door, and that's probably like the stable where you would see the horses sitting at or grazing, fenced in this nice little area. I love how they've restored this, and the old rustic wood and the old rusted out look. Not sure what the 2021's about. Obviously someone's graffitiing there. I love how they also left the rocks, and then if anybody's got to go, now's your time, because it looks like I found the restroom. Imagine having to go in this thing versus our modern conveniences of running plumbing. Yikes. I could just imagine the bees and the wasps in that thing in the summer. And then finally, here's another stable / barn area that I found over here at the end. So yes, pretty cool little area, and I'm happy to be able to share that. So all in all, I think it was an interesting visit to the park out here at Eagle Mountain Lake Park. The thing that I like the most is that it's near a very urban area, yet it feels like you're far away from the city. So this was about a 5 to 10 minute drive from my super busy populated area to just being out, and it feels like you're almost out of nowhere. With that said, as you can tell from the drive into the park, there are tons of people out here. So finding moments where I could just have a few moments of quiet was a little difficult. It's typically not this busy. I'm thinking it's because today was the first day it hit 73 degrees, where it's been in the 40s and 50s. It's causing people to come out of their little hibernation caves. It's going to be back down in the 50s and 40s for the rest of this week. It's definitely been a fun day. Got a lot done today. Had a lot of fun trips that I went on, and yes, thanks for coming along for the adventure today. I appreciate you coming along, and just wanted to say, thanks. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Of course, we'd love to see you again. So definitely be sure to also hit the bell for the notifications if you want to be notified the next time I release a video. Other than that, this is Adventuring Art, signing off. Have a good day. Thanks for tuning in.